Hey everyone, welcome to the Sound Test Podcast, the only podcast that will delay a podcast for your enjoyment. This is your host, Bryan here, and I'm joined with
We
say what?
It's not even enjoyable. At that point, it just seems like we're just being lazy.
That opening made no fucking sense.
Right. To be a part of the Success Podcast, and we haven't even started.
I'm joined by Max.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Sorry,
is that?
drinking some water. It's hot over here. It's the summertime, folks, and it's hot. The AC's broken, so I'm drinking water.
That didn't sound like you were drinking.
No, I don't know what that was. He was being possessed. Joined by Clayton.
All right.
I said, joined by Clayton.
Joined by Clayton.
I'm here.
So you're not gonna embrace us with any I am cake in Japanese?
Watachi wa usagi. I'm a strawberry.
What was that?
I'm a strawberry. And we're joined by DeYante.
My bad. I mean, pizza from like a chicken place right now.
That sounds awful. What?
It's like,
What?
It's like,
Place is called crispy chicken, but they sell pizza.
I know.
but it's like,
I've heard of chicken from a pizza place, but pizza from a chicken place?
it's like if Popeyes made a pizza. Wait a minute.
Right.
Actually, hold up. That might be buzzing.
Come get the KF cheesy.
Or like when McDonald's used to make pizza.
That fucking McPizza, bro.
The big
Bruh,
pizza.
they had that. What was the spaghetti? Was like the mixed spaghetti or something like that, right?
Mixed spaghetti.
Yeah, like that's
pasta.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit.
Before we start the show proper, I do want to say the wings from Pizza Hut is surprisingly decent.
no. I'm sorry.
Bone in or the boneless?
Hard
Bone in. What?
Hard pass. I got food poisoning from their wings 2 times in a row when I ordered their
Those
wings.
are your
Well,
weak ass stuff.
Right.
Well, maybe you just allergic to Pizza Hut. You ever think about that?
I haven't eaten at Pizza Hut
That
since
doesn't
like
make
my sophomore
any
year of
sense.
college.
Exactly.
So get your shit.
Pizza Hut used to be good, but as I got older, it started to get worse.
Their quality
my
of
go-to
pizza
pizzas.
has gone down.
That's what
Yeah,
I
my go-to pizza is Papa John's. It's probably gonna be like that for until like maybe somewhere else opens up. But for right now, it's Papa John's.
I mean, even their qualities went down.
Facts.
Well, let's stop the food talk. And our topic for this week is, quite frankly, what the hell is going on with Microsoft? So obviously, the big news a few weeks ago was that Starfield and Redfall were delayed. But there's some other smaller issues that's constantly kind of happening within Microsoft Game Studios as a whole. And I wanted to talk about it because, well, I know I'm out of this group. I'm the only one with the Series X, and ironically, the only one without a PlayStation 5 too. So yeah, cool, woohoo. But I'm also the only one with Game Pass, so like I'm more invested in the Xbox ecosystem than the Sony ecosystem right now. And the crazy thing is there's so much to Xbox Game Studios, but we're not seeing the output. And I think that's the biggest flaw right now in Microsoft's leadership of their gaming studios. So, let's start with the big news. Starfield and Redfall have been delayed. I'm going to read from PC Gamer, and it says, Bethesda has announced that both the spacefaring RPG Starfield and Arcane's co-op shooter Redfall have been delayed. With a Twitter post, the developers quietly pushed both projects into 2023, and considering that we haven't seen gameplay for either is exactly not a huge surprise. Twitter post says, we made a decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin for Redfall and Bethesda Game Studios for Starfield have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that they receive the best, most polished versions of them. We have to thank everyone for their excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires us every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our first deep dive into gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. Thank you for your support.
Sounds like game industry jargon for our shit ain't even done.
Yeah. So you gonna get it. You gonna get it when you get it. Appreciate y'all.
And companies, they tend to do this, all the time. Big game gets announced. They put out an initial release-ish date because it'll say I don't know, summer 2020, whatever. And you don't hear about any developments in the game for months, and then all of a sudden here they are. Hey, remember this? It got pushed back. We can't get our shit together, so you're gonna have to wait till 2040 something now. Please wait with us, and we will make sure we'll make the game half-assed as possible. And that sometimes is the case, depending on the developer and depending on the studio that's doing the games. But since Bethesda has such a wishy-washy,
history,
especially with Fallout, and some of the games in that franchise that have either been extremely buggy and on release and or unplayable altogether. Hit Fallout 76. Then they're trying new IPs. Maybe this is a refresher for them, and maybe they'll actually get this correct when it does actually release.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, Starfield had a release date a whole year and a half ahead. 11/11/22 was such a hard date, and all the way up until the delay, they was yes, it's coming out 11/11/22.
22.
And that's that is an iconic release date too. You're not going to forget 11/11/22. You're just not. Right. And then they just let that shit slip into.
they realized
he forgot.
They realized. Ooh, this is gonna take a lot longer than I thought it would. And I'm just hoping that this extra time is gonna let it be a polished, finished game. That's it. That's all I want. A polished, finished game.
I just want big corporations to notice it's bad PR when you just give a release date and a title and maybe some artwork and stuff like that, and there's no hype towards the game. I know it's supposed to be a quote unquote major release, but with the delay, how are you going to keep people interested in a game that's been delayed and you gave a solid date of release?
But you gotta think. The release date is far. That's the end of 2022. We're talking about this happening in 2021. The hype, hype, but it's not going to be oh yes, this we're good. We're going to be talking about it nonstop. There hasn't been enough of the game released. There hasn't been enough gameplay shown. There hasn't been enough about the game actually released for it to be really hyped up like that.
Unless you're I don't know, fucking Elden Ring. When Elden Ring got announced way back in at the Game Awards with that one trailer, no gameplay, everybody lost their shit because everybody knew it was a From Software game.
Yeah, because the From Software hasn't missed.
You didn't see shit from that game that was gameplay or character related until at least 4 to 5 years after that fucking trailer.
Yeah,
but the hype for the game was so large.
Was it really that much of a gap? Was it really that much of a gap? I don't think it was that big of a gap.
Quite a while.
It was it almost hit 2 years, I believe.
It
No,
felt like it felt like
well,
5 years.
Squiddy's not that off. Elden Ring was first announced in E3 2019. So
2019.
that was before the pandemic.
So
Okay,
that's-
within
Damn.
3 years.
Damn.
And
wow,
then they didn't
time
really-
just melded in.
And they didn't
Bro.
really show anything about Elden Ring until like 2021.
Where everything about that shit was silent. Social media was silent on that. Everyone were just silently going hollow because we didn't get shit about the game. Then we got Game Awards happened. They talked about the most anticipated game, Elden Ring, and that's it.
And then Jeff Keighley was like, I'm finally free. And the thing is like, if unlike Elden Ring, Redfall and Starfield aren't, they're brand new IPs. We don't know what the fuck what kind of games they're gonna be, even though they're from Bethesda, a huge fucking very familiar company.
A huge.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
with Starfield, they started this year like with the marketing and like developer interviews. They haven't shown gameplay, but they've talked a lot. The developers have talked about it a lot this year. Redfall, we've heard absolutely nothing from Redfall since they revealed it last year. And that joint was supposed to come out summer 2022.
And that's what I was
Guess
saying.
what?
Like, and
It's
that's what I
summer
was saying.
2022, and we got jerk shit.
Right.
And that's what I was saying. Like, there's no hype on all this stuff. Like, Elden Ring is a different story because it's based off of it's not a prequel, it's not a sequel, all of that stuff, but it's still like based off another game which was extremely popular. So you can't have like.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of people looking forward to Starfield. From what I've seen online, a lot of people are anticipating Starfield just because Starfield is either going to be Fallout in space or Elder Scrolls in space, and people are all for that.
Quite frankly, I'm more excited for Redfall. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, Redfall's kind of my thing.
Vampire.
But again, like at least show some behind the scenes of like what have we been doing, like what's been working on, how do we design characters? At least in the age of social media, where it like if you're not on social media at this point, you're behind on everything. You're losing out on a very marketable market, profitable market, I should say. And I just didn't get that definitely not from Redfall, as you said, Bryan, and not from Starfield at all. So
Where you got to think. I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish.
Oh no, I did finish.
Okay. You got to think. Delays can mean a lot of things. It can mean, we genuinely need more time to finish, or development is kind of a clusterfuck right now, so they can't really show things about development because that shit's chaos.
Chaos control.
True.
And the thing is, like, I
don't
think
picking up on
social
that,
media-
Max.
Yeah, chaos control.
chaos
But
control. The problem isn't actually like the social media aspect and the promotion of it, because that's gonna get out regardless as soon as some lucky fellow, finds a way to leak some shit.
Yeah.
Leak searches are abundant and abound in any form of game development, especially if it's a large name like, Elden Ring. Shit got leaked for Elden Ring before the Game Awards, before the fucking release. And then the Game Awards happened, and it was that exact trailer that was leaked. It was very shitty looking, but it was that trailer. And so I think the same thing would happen with Redfall or Starfield whenever they would, where they would get a little loosey-goosey with, letting out development details or anything that's footage related, because somehow that shit just leaves the office space and nobody gets in trouble. So I think it's just a matter of them trying to keep the hype more so for the internet to spurn it themselves to keep everybody interested. Hype can be generated on its own through the absence of the game and people constantly speculating, what is it going to be looking like? Like Bryan said, it's either going to be Skyrim in space or Fallout in space. and more people speculate or come up with concepts or like art ideas, people will start making up shit that they think would be in Starfield or be in Redfall, and that's enough to carry people over for quite a while. You'd be surprised. The shit like Twitter, where there's like a bunch of artists and things like that, they will make content for something that doesn't exist yet.
Mhm.
they,
They
they
get
will
one
find a way.
picture. They get one picture, and all the Reddit and Deviant art artists, they go to town, boy.
Yeah.
So the next like area I want to bring this conversation to is, well, with Redfall and Starfield, that was essentially going to be, you know, the big games for Microsoft or for Xbox platforms this year. And, you know, without that, it's kind of like, what the hell is left? Because here's a few things, and I've excuse me, I pulled up a few things that that Microsoft has announced that's supposed to be coming this year. Stalker 2, that got that got delayed, and because it was supposed to come out spring 2022, that got delayed into December 2022. Then it got delayed indefinitely because of the war in Ukraine, because the studio's based in, I believe, Ukraine. So that's just it's going to come out whenever type situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then Contraband, which was another game announced last year, we just had a trailer and nothing else. We heard of nothing else from that game.
Forgot about that. It was a weird trailer. It wasn't even like a convincing trailer. They just showed like ammo crates and guns and pictures. And,
yeah, it was like a room,
record.
some like
Yeah,
room facility or whatever. A game that's still slated for this year, that's an Xbox exclusive, is Scorn. Anybody remember Scorn?
Oh yes.
Scorn,
Oh
I'm still very excited for Scorn. I don't even have a fucking Xbox.
Well, I mean,
That shit
you know,
looks cool.
it's coming on PC too. So,
Oh, okay.
that's
Well,
still slated
They
for
were
October.
transparent, though.
Say it again.
They were very transparent. They were very transparent though. When they actually communicated saying that they were delaying the game because they released a trailer. Well, not even a trailer, but it was more like a gameplay video.
Yeah,
Pretty long, great gameplay video.
It looks pretty much done.
Right. That's what I was like. What do you mean? Unless there's like other aspects of the game that they have to like tidy up or whatever. But like after they released that gameplay video, then they went on social media saying that it was still going to take more time for them to, finish the game. And people are like, what the fuck do you mean? The game looks finished. It looks good. It looks great. And
if I'm not mistaken,
like,
it's a
like
smaller.
shit, move on.
If I'm not mistaken, it's a smaller studio that's working on that anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there's
a few other weird ones. So, Crossfire X came out this year.
And I heard that was dog shit.
Yeah, it's a weird situation where part of the game is on Game Pass, but another part is not. And then the part that was on Game Pass, apparently it was just not good. It was like one chapter of the game was on Game Pass and you had to pay for the rest. And apparently it was not good.
Well, they tried.
And the thing is, it's the developer is Remedy. And
What do they do?
Remedy does a lot of stuff. They did Alan Wake, Max Payne, Control, Quantum Break.
Why did they fuck that up?
Right. They have a good pedigree of games. Let's see if anybody remembers this. Warhammer 4000 Dark Tide.
Excuse me?
Warhammer 40K Dark Tide. I don't remember that, but seeing as I've just gotten heavily into Warhammer. As a matter of fact, let me look that up again.
So apparently it's supposed to be a PC and Xbox Series X and S exclusive. And it has release date of September 13th, 2022. I remember them like there was like a trailer to it, but I don't remember anything about it.
First I'm hearing of it. That's how
I don't
bad
remember
it
shit.
is.
Because the last thing Warhammer related I remember is like a Space Marine game.
Yeah, it's there's a lot to the Warhammer 40K series. There's a lot of games and there's actual like physical game itself.
They just had like a con or something because on my YouTube feed, like one day this week, it was just a shit ton of Warhammer like game announcements.
Yeah, it's a surprisingly big franchise that I know nothing about.
Next is the extra.
Oh yes, Warhammer is a rabbit hole. I will say that I've recently dived into that rabbit hole, and I'm still digging. They've had a lot of games. A lot of them were not good. The main one is like Dawn of War, which is their strategy game. Apparently, the first two were good, but the third one was not.
Apparently, their Total War series game is actually really, really good. Because that's where it's the same franchise that does like the Rome Total War, the Shogun Total War, those games. And the Warhammer one is actually one of their better ones.
Gotcha. And the Space Marine games were good too.
So hopefully they're going to show some of that in the upcoming showcase. Because I just know that it's a big franchise. I just know nothing about it. But apparently this newest game is set to be exclusive to Xbox. There is Replaced, which is an indie game. Right now it seems like it's exclusive to Xbox and PC. It looks cool. It looks like it's going to be very narrative, focused, kind of like relaxed, chill game itself. After that, we have Slime Rancher 2.
Excuse me?
Has anyone played a Slime Rancher game? Because I definitely have not.
I have not either.
It has its audience.
So it's coming to Game Pass. And I think as of right now, the only platforms it stated is Xbox Series X and PC. So there's that. And this is an article that I just recently saw. Arc 2 is reportedly a timed Xbox exclusive and eventually will come to PlayStation and Switch.
I thought this one was going to be you talking about this Vin Diesel one?
Yeah, you get shirtless Vin Diesel in 4K. Exclusively on the Xbox.
For a limited time. On the Xbox Series X and S. What a time to be alive.
Oh wow. How have I never seen this Warhammer 40K Dark Tide trailer?
Oh, did they release a recent trailer?
No, this is the one from a year ago.
Oh. The only other rumored things that could be coming out this year for Xbox would be the Gears of War collection that was been rumored. So the rumors have said that similar to how they did the Master Chief collection, they're going to do like a Marcus Phoenix collection where they take Gears 1, 2, 3, and Judgment and put them all to one collection and remaster them individually.
They can just do 1, 2, and 3. There's no need for Judgment.
But Judgment is you need the complete story, Max. You got to have Judgment in there.
No, I don't. I don't. That game has traumatized me, bro.
You're telling me you don't want to experience the stories of Baird?
Oh God, no. I can experience Baird in 1, 2, and 3.
But
those games were actually good.
But it was the origin of Baird and Coltrane's, when they was first meeting up.
Wow, I don't care.
You telling me you didn't like the new story structure and the point system? What?
And the damn felt like you was playing a mini game the whole goddamn campaign. No stakes, no sense of tension. None of that.
Max is still very, very upset about Gears of War
I
Judgment.
spent $90 on that shit, bro. I spent $90 on that. That was the first game I ever pre-ordered. I spent $90 on that bullshit ass game just to go back to playing Gears 3.
Oh yeah, and the multiplayer on Gears, on that one was not that good.
Not at all.
That junk faded to obscurity fast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I would love to go back to Gears of War 3 and have that, remastered in like Unreal Engine 5 or 4 and just have that game to be gorgeous.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Because it's a fight between Gears 3 and Gears 5, which is the best in the franchise. But I just have so much great memories with 3.
I'm on 3. I'm on 3. 3 is my 3. 3 was just the best Gears game in the franchise, bro.
It's just, but that sawed-off shotgun, that junk was so broken, dog.
That shit. If you were in front of somebody, they were. If anyone was in front of you, they're dead. Like, you don't have to aim.
Right, you literally don't have to aim. It's just boom.
If they're on your screen and they're pretty close, they're dead.
And the other obviously rumored game is Forza Motorsport whatever, because apparently it's going to be a reboot. I'm probably the only one that's like super interested in that because I like racing sims. Yeah. I'm not a big racing guy. But
me neither.
But the crazy thing is, again, that's not it's not been revealed yet. Obviously, we suspect it's going to be revealed upcoming for the showcase. So let's talk about the showcase. Let me read specifically from news.xbox.com. It says, we are excited to announce that the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase will stream on Sunday, June 12th at 10 a.m. PT. Why is it so early? I just realized that. Usually it's
You said
late.
It's at 12 a.m. You said 12.
10 a.m. PT.
Hey,
Oh, 10 a.m.
Why is it so early?
It's even worse.
They usually have it like late in the day. Okay. This show will feature amazing titles. You said what? You said what, Squiddy?
You won't see DeYante McClay.
Well, I remember it's PT, so that's like what? It's like 1 p.m. for us.
That's like,
I think it's like
it'll be at work
on a Sunday. You're not going to be at work on a Sunday.
You never know.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, go ahead, just open up the school on a Sunday. Let your dumbass be the only one there.
Oh, don't worry. Don't worry, I'll be there bright and early. Waiting at the desk to get in.
This show will feature amazing titles coming from Xbox Game Studios, Bethesda, and our partners around the world. Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase will include everything you need to know about the diverse lineup of games coming soon to the Xbox ecosystem, including upcoming game releases on Game Pass, on Xbox and PC. And then it just says where it could be streamed at: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Will Spencer be there?
I would hope so. He's he's the boss.
He's going to show up. He was like, hello, welcome to the Xbox game showcase. We don't have any games. Goodbye.
Well, I mean, shit, that's how it
and
feels
then the live
like.
stream just ends. We don't have anything to show you right now. Goodbye.
So
and that's easy, people.
I wanted to go through all of the studios that Xbox have, and their rumored things that they're currently working on, or either rumored things they're working on, things that we know that they're working on. and studios we just haven't heard from in a while. But before I do that, do y'all have any predictions on what we're going to see at the showcase? Like what is going to be the thing that's going to be like, especially for y'all since y'all don't have the Series X and you're not into the Game Pass ecosystem. What announcement could Microsoft do that makes you get off your feet and be like, oh fuck yes?
You said a game that would get me hype for?
Yeah. What would be a quote unquote system seller for you if they announce it at the Xbox showcase?
Viva Pinata 2.
Say it again.
Hey, Viva Pinata.
Viva Pinata 2.
There's like several Viva Pinata games. I'm pretty sure they already had a 2.
Release a new Bubsy game and you got me sold.
Okay, y'all just being assholes.
Let me get a whole new Blinks the Cat and Vex.
Why are you joking? I wouldn't like them to
VEXX.
try Blinks again. I don't know about Vex.
Give me a trilogy of remastered Tack and the Power of Juju exclusively.
You know what
Xbox
would get
Series
me?
X.
Bruh, the Halo 3 anniversary.
Yes.
That would get me. Halo 3 anniversary would get me.
Halo 3 is the dark child of that collection because that game looks rough on the Master Chief Collection.
Bruh, because it's 2007. It's a 2007 game.
And it
I don't
looks
know
like
why they haven't. I don't know why they haven't given it the anniversary treatment. I have no reason. There's no reason.
Well, they missed the anniversary. That's one. And then they never went back and just remastered it. I mean, maybe they could do like a 15th anniversary or something.
Well, yeah, I don't play.
Say what?
I said I'm trying to think, but I don't play any Xbox, so I don't know.
Well, I'll say one for
Something
me.
that-
For me, it will be Killer Instinct 2. I like the foundation of Killer Instinct reboot was so good, and Phil Spencer has been vocal about they want to continue the Killer Instinct franchise, but he was last stated, they're trying to find the right developer for it. I want another Killer Instinct.
Everything from our galaxy and boom.
Well, I mean, the problem with it okay. Killer Instinct had a really messy development cycle. To make a long story short, basically, when Killer Instinct was first pitched, it was supposed to be an Xbox 360 game, and it was supposed to be something small. Then, when they started shifting towards the Xbox One, they started porting it to the Xbox One. And I forgot the original studio. Let me look this up real quick. Who was the original studio that was doing the reboot? Double Helix. Double Helix was the original studio that did Killer Instinct. And they basically rushed the game. It was on low budget. And despite all that, it had a really good foundation. And then they got bought up by Amazon Game Studios. And they have made practically nothing since. And then that's when Iron Galaxy stepped in, and Iron Galaxy took over and provided us with season 2 and 3, which were very fantastic. They did a stellar job with it. But the thing with Iron Galaxy is they get a lot of work because they're kind of like the de facto studio for porting stuff, especially for fighting games. So Iron Galaxy is constantly busy and constantly doing things. So it's I don't think it's a situation where they can go back to Iron Galaxy.
Except
You said what?
instead of giving me what I want.
So look, just here's an example of all the stuff that Iron Galaxy has done since Killer Instinct. And I'm not even going to read the full list. I'm just going to do some of them. So they've worked on the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy for PC. They've worked on Spiral Reignite Trilogy for PC. Overwatch for Nintendo Switch. They've worked on Fallout 76, Diablo 3, Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection for the PC, Elder Scrolls Skyrim for the Switch, Fallout 4 VR, Quake Champions. They've worked on Destiny, Borderlands 2, Batman Arkham Knight. They've worked on a lot of stuff. And they've also worked on, I think there's missing some games off the list because I believe they worked on the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection too. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. They're all over the place. And the rumor was that Microsoft was going to go to Bandai Namco to do a follow-up to Killer Instinct. And I would welcome that with open arms if they give it to Bandai Namco, because Bandai Namco does a great job of supporting their fighting game releases.
Yeah. Until they don't.
I mean, Dragon Ball FighterZ,
like,
got support for like 3 years, 3-4 years straight. So,
shit, Dragon Ball FighterZ Tekken 7 had their last character released last year.
Jesus. Bandai Namco knows what the hell they're doing. So, I would trust
with their fighting games, at least.
Yeah, with their fighting games. We could definitely say that. With their fighting games, Bandai Namco knows what they're doing. But any other things that were announcements that will get you off your feet before we go through all the studios that they have?
Not too much else, to be honest with you.
A legit fucking Conquer game.
Yes.
Yo.
Conquer game.
That would be great.
Yeah, we're adults now. Uncensored that shit.
A reboot of... Remember Young Conquer? Do y'all remember that shit?
Oh, wow.
What?
Young Conquer.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Young Conquer.
Is that the DS one?
No, this is like that weird VR one. Okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, wait, he looked like he was a heroin addict. Yeah, that's gross.
Oh shit! Wow.
I'm gonna put on the Discord.
Bro, this is like a fever. This is like a fever dream, bro. That shit was in the recesses of my memory.
He looks awful.
Oh my god, that shit was bad.
It looked like he was on crack.
When they were doing the HoloLens, right?
Yes.
What the hell? No.
It was a dark time.
You just ripped that from the recesses of my mind.
So yeah, that a real attempt at Conquer, bringing that back would be wonderful.
Can we get a Primal Rage, please?
They don't own Primal Rage.
Isn't that rare?
No. WB Games owns Primal Rage.
Oh? Ooh?
What?
That would be pretty modern day, like Primal Rage.
I mean, shit. I mean, what's
I
the
mean,
name?
it's
NetherRealm owns. I mean, WB Games, but WB Games owns NetherRealm. I mean, they would be the best people to do a Primal Rage reboot.
See, but if Phil Spencer's like, I like dinosaurs, can you make a video game for us exclusively? Because I like dinosaurs.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the...
I'll put up a large sum of cash for that.
Well, yeah, Phil Spencer has no problem dropping out money. So let's just go through
taking out the checkbook.
Right. We'll go through all the list of studios that are currently owned by Xbox, and it's a ridiculous amount. 343 Industries, they exclusively work on Halo, and if you haven't heard, Halo Infinite Season 2 is another 6-month season.
Jeez.
6-month season.
Too damn long.
And
that's
it only brings in 2 new maps and a handful of new modes. That's it.
But for 6 months, you need steady content going throughout that 6 months.
Yeah. And so a lot of people have been angry about that. And like it's rumored because one of the creative directors, he was on Kind of Funny's Xbox Game Pass game podcast, and he hinted at the idea of them remastering old Halo maps and putting them in Infinite, but hell, that should have been done.
I'm saying
A long time
do it
ago.
so you can have some. Do it so y'all can have some content. But we went. You know, I don't. I you know, I like things. Like me, like a lot of fans want new shit.
Max, you're breaking up.
I said me, like a lot of fans want new shit.
You said, yeah, we like new shit. It cut
like
off just like that.
Your internet is censoring you.
They don't want to hear the words of a black man.
Damn racist internet.
Mad about his old favorite franchise.
There's a lot of studios. So we have Alpha Dog Games. Have anybody ever heard of them?
Alpha Dog Games.
I
Nah,
heard of Alpha Dog Games.
I don't know what the hell that is.
They're a mobile game dev studio, and the only game they made was Wraithborn. They was part of the Bethesda acquisition.
Okay.
There's Arcane Studios. Oh, which I forgot to mention. So, Deathloop came out in like September of last year, or exclusive to the PS5. So the rumor is that exclusivity deal with Sony was only 1 year. So hopefully we're getting Deathloop this year for Xbox, maybe like a definitive edition that comes out this year.
That'd be pretty dope.
That'd be dope.
So, and I don't suspect we're going to see like a new Dishonored or Prey from them. And they got to show us something from Redfall, like something.
Anything,
right?
please.
We're desperate. You guys said summer 2022. Y'all said summer 2022. And here it is, summer 2022. And I haven't seen a damn thing.
We have Bethesda Game Studios, which of course is working on Starfield. The Coalition, which handles the Gears of War franchise. And they've already went and said like, hey, it's going to be a long time before we get to Gears 6. And they've transitioned to Unreal Engine 5. But also the rumor is that they started a second team within their studio. So they should be working on 2 different projects at once. But I don't suspect us to see anything from the Coalition at all this year. Compulsion Games. This is another wild card. They're the ones who did We Happy Few. Y'all remember that game?
Yes.
That game it was
mid.
Like it had potential. It had so much potential, but it was bad.
It was mid as
I
well.
agree. I totally agree with you, Max. My God, it looked good with the trailers, but when I saw gameplay on YouTube, I'm like, oh, that's how you went.
Okay.
Well,
So
I
this
guess
is what
so.
we're doing now? Being mad?
I feel hate crimed.
Stop.
Time to refund. Time to refund.
Watching that gameplay, I feel hate
Right. Time to refund.
We have Double Fine Studios, Productions, which we probably won't see anything from them because they literally just dropped Psychonauts 2 last year. So I don't suspect anything from them.
Tim Schafer's like, God damn, I'm tired. We're fucking deaf.
The work is done. Now I rest.
Id Software, so they're responsible for Doom, Rage, and Quake. I suspect this, and this is my prediction. They specifically spent all last year.
Too.
No, oh god, no. They specifically spent all last year making modern versions of Quake 1, 2, and I believe 3. I feel like they're going to reboot Quake the same way they rebooted Doom.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
And I think that would be so fucking
That'd
cool.
be dope.
I have so many. Quake is most of my memories, bro.
It's about that time anyway, because Quake was a pretty revolutionary game when it came out.
And if you haven't played the
just like Doom was,
if you haven't played like the remasters of those original games on modern consoles, they're really good.
they are very good, very hard.
And
but
if you
quite good.
and if you never played it, there's a free version of Quake called Quake Champions that's also really good. It's just multiplayer, but it's like stupid 90s multiplayer fun. And it's like they kind of just released it and just kind of stopped. it's out
Right.
there. You could play it whenever. It's free to play, but it's kind of just like, all right, it's out there.
Then no maintenance on it, no updates on it, type shit. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, and I should have also mentioned Saber Interactive. They're like mostly a support studio stuff. They do like support studios and stuff. It's been rumored that they're going to be assisting, I think it was Saber. If not Saber, it's somebody else. But it was some studio that was rumored to be working with Halo Infinite to create a battle royale specifically for Halo Infinite. So I don't know how I feel about a battle royale with Halo, but
That's not. No, it ain't gonna work, champ. I'm sorry.
because Halo's such a weird game to do a battle royale with,
Yeah, I agree. So
especially with how the
Imagine getting
weapons
third-
work.
everybody on the team has fucking Spartan lasers.
And like the sniper rifle in Infinite is so broken because you get hit once and that's it. if
Is
you
that
aim
intention?
it, yeah, if you aim the sniper rifle for a headshot, that's just it. You're done. You're done. The initiative with Perfect, they're working on Perfect Dark, which have y'all heard about the controversies with the initiative and Perfect Dark?
I didn't know there were controversies with the initiative.
Inform us.
Okay, so the initiative is Microsoft's quadruple A studio, as they put it. And this studio was supposed to be, helming the reboot of Perfect Dark, and they were claiming the studios to be very creator focused and employee focused when it comes to the creative decisions of the games. But what it eventually delved into, apparently development wasn't going smooth or fast enough. So they brought in Crystal Dynamics to co-develop Perfect Dark. And apparently that was a lot of strife on the workers because the things that they wanted to do creatively was being pushed to the side and opposed for stuff that Crystal Dynamics was bringing to the project. And apparently a lot of people who were part of the initiative, like, directors or senior positions, left the project. And I'm guessing because of that tension of bringing Crystal Dynamics in and having a whole nother studio work in conjunction with the initiative. So Lord knows when we're going to get anything like that.
Or any kind of changes to anything.
Say
They
that
need
again.
to be worried about fucking. I said Crystal Dynamics has no business being in that anyway, considering how they should just, focus on the fucking game that they have that's dog shit. Talking to you, Marvel Avengers.
I started
Because that was that. And a lot of people wanted to like that game, but couldn't because of the the design of it and how they wanted to make it a service. And I feel like if they're going to be doing all of that, they're going to try to make Perfect Dark into a service game somehow.
Yeah, and there was another weird thing about it. There was like Perfect Dark rumors saying, oh, it might be episodic and released in chunks, and then other people are like, no, it's going to be separate stories. And then
See.
All that's reeks of DLC. That reeks of pay to play.
Or expansions.
Right.
So who knows what the hell's going on with Perfect Dark?
Hope it gets out of development. Hell.
Right.
Because I was actually kind of excited for that to be coming back.
Yeah, hopefully it's not another Perfect Dark Zero.
Oh, jeez, yeah. If you haven't watched the Magma Muscles video on that, it's very fascinating.
I used to play the fuck out that game. I used to play. I played that game to death.
I never played it. I just heard how bad it was.
I played that game to death because I was a kid and my tastes were different. I didn't give a goddamn if the game was good or not. I just played it.
Quality.
Mm-hmm.
You had kid taste.
Right. So I just played the game, not giving a damn if it was good or not.
And then you realize what quality was.
Moving on, we have In Exile. They're responsible for the Wasteland games and the Bard's Tales games.
Bard's Tale. Oh wow.
They're very
That's a memory.
RPG focused. I tried a little bit of Wasteland 3. It's a strategy RPG. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun, actually.
Maybe the game is hard as hell.
I've only been like the first few bit of it, so I didn't get to like any true difficulty. I'm still technically in the tutorial aspect of it. I only put like 3 hours or so in there. Machine Games. So, Machine Games, this is the people who's worked on the Wolfenstein reboot, and they're currently working on Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah, which I'm have high hopes for because the Wolfenstein reboots were fucking good.
They are great. And
those games, they feel great. Those games feel good.
And the thing is, my other prediction is that they're going to shadow drop Wolfenstein 3 because the New Colossus, Wolfenstein 2, the New Colossus, came out in 2017. That is a long time from, and we've heard nothing from the studio until like 2021 when they announced Indiana Jones. So there's no way they just been working on Indiana Jones since 2017. Like they have to be working on Wolfenstein 3. And like I feel that it's almost complete, especially since they have like nothing this year. I think they're definitely going to drop Wolfenstein 3 this year as a surprise. Hey, this is out. Exclusive to Xbox.
And everybody's going to be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What's going on here? I wasn't expecting this. Now I have to pull out my pre-order wallet.
And it would be cool if they showed us anything of Indiana Jones. Because I think it's been years since we had any type of good Indiana Jones games.
There's one that Funhouse played.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I don't know if that Scotsfun is good, though. We have Mojang, which is Mojang or Mojang. Minecraft.
Oh, they still exist.
Yeah, Minecraft.
They just got purchased by goddamn Microsoft. That's why.
They got purchased a long time ago from Microsoft.
Yeah, that was a long ass time ago.
I'm gonna get Minecraft 2.
Well, apparently
Warcraft.
Apparently, I just realized this because I was listening to another podcast. Minecraft ray tracing never came to Xbox, and the update's been on PC for a while. So,
yeah, DeYante was showing me that the other day when we was over doing the podcast over there. And that looks amazing, bro.
Yeah, it's a big difference with ray trace Minecraft compared to regular Minecraft.
Like the couple of times I've done it on PC, I was like, God damn, it's kind of hard to go back to the regular. It just works so well.
So hopefully they announce that it's going to come to PS5 and Xbox, that version.
Yeah, I don't think anything's coming.
There's Ninja Theory, with Hellblade, some other thing called Project Mara that they haven't said much about. I don't think we may see something about Hellblade 2, but that's probably nothing. That's probably not to like late 2023, if that.
Is it going to be more of her yelling and screaming and like war grunting while killing a giant?
I need to get on that game. I never played what was it? Senua's Sacrifice or something like that.
Yeah.
We have Obsidian, which they have a lot of stuff going on. So they announced the Outer Worlds 2 last year, which I'm super excited for. Have any of y'all played Outer Worlds? I mean, Outer Worlds?
I mean,
no, I haven't. I've seen it though.
I just never went back to it.
Oh my God. Outer Worlds is so fun. I have to replay it because I started it last year, but my save like deleted itself or got corrupted. I don't know what happened. I just booted up the game one day and it was just like, all right, start a new game.
You're just like, excuse me?
Bro, I had like 15 hours into that game and it was just gone. But Outer Worlds is basically the same format you had for like Fallout New Vegas, where it's just like you get to create your character, you get to create your like class, and they put you into this world and you have to like very Fallout-esque inspired where, you know, you can kill anybody you want, but you can talk your way out of situations, or you can develop abilities for pickpocketing or hacking or, you know, charming people. And the gunplay in that is great. The game feels great. The game looks great. The dialogue is A1. The, you know, interactions. It's a really enjoyable game, and it's very like self-aware in a lot of the stuff.
And it's short and not bloated either, because you can finish a playthrough in like 20 hours versus an actual Fallout game. You could be playing that bitch for the rest of your life.
And like I had like 15 or so hours in it because I was just like I was exploring everything. Like I only got past like I was in the second or third biome of there. Just because I just love going in the environment, talking to people, and just absorbing that environment, that world. But that's probably not going to come out for a while. What I hope we see more of is Avowed. Because they announced it, but we haven't seen anything from it.
You said Avowed?
Avowed.
Yeah, see, I'm forgetting about all of these. Hold on. Let me Avowed.
That's
I know
their
I've seen it.
medieval Middle Earth type RPG game.
Okay, yeah. As soon as I seen it, I remembered.
And then they've been constantly working on Grounded, which will, you know, hopefully get a full release this year. Because that's been in beta for like the last 2 years or so.
It seems like they like that.
Huh?
Keep it cooking.
Yeah, Obsidian Games, their output is ridiculous. They are true workhorses. They're the equivalent of Insomniac Games for Microsoft. Their output is stupid good.
Not a day yet.
You got Playground Games, which does Forza Horizon. So I'm surprised they haven't done any Forza Horizon DLC yet. Forza Horizon 5 DLC, because they usually do DLC throughout the year. So we might see something like that. They're also their second team is working on the Fable reboot,
which I'm looking, boy, Fable. Oh,
and if y'all haven't heard the news either, apparently that's going through some development issues as well.
I bet. Oh, of course it is. I hope it doesn't blow cheeks, boy. Because if it blows, that means if it does, that means they'll never get to a Fable 2 reboot.
Yep.
And that's the one I'm really looking forward to. Fable 2 is easily the best game in the series.
Well, that's if this is a reboot. If they even go in route, or if they're gonna like change a lot of shit. Where
this may be a full on reboot, just starting fresh. It probably is going to be something like that.
Okay.
We have Rare, which is constantly working on Sea of Thieves, and there's Everwild, which was announced at like, I want to say 2019. Let's see. No, I'm not looking. I typed in Everwild on Wikipedia and it pulled up the 2010 fantasy novel by the young adult fiction author Neil Shusterman. It's not what I'm looking for. I believe this was announced a long time ago. 2020, that's when Everwild was announced. And that's another game we heard absolutely nothing from.
I don't even remember that. I truly don't remember that.
It's Rare. It's Rare's newest IP. And again, rumors have it that it's also going through development issues and issues behind the scenes. So who the hell knows when we're going to see that?
Oh, this game with the deer and stuff.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
And I'm going to try to get through this because it's a long list. Roundhouse Studios. It was founded in 2019. It was part of the Bethesda acquisition. They haven't made any game yet because they were kind of purchased right when it was getting created. So who knows what the hell they're working on. Tango Gameworks, which just finished Tokyo Ghostwire, so we're probably not going to see anything from them. Turn 10, which deals with the Forza Motorsport franchise, which I said earlier, they're probably going to have a new Forza Motorsport game this year. Undead Labs, they work on State of Decay, and they should be working on State of Decay 3, which would kind of be cool, but Lord knows when that's going to come out. World's Edge, which works on Age of Empires. I don't think anybody here is into Age of Empires.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then lastly, ZeniMax Online, which works on the Elder Scrolls Online games, which, again, I'm not into MMOs.
I've seen gameplay. I've never played gameplays like that, but Elder Scrolls Online. I used to be into MMOs once upon a time. The last MMO I was really into was DC Universe Online. That shit was dope.
Man, I go further back. The last MMO I was into was RuneScape.
Oh boy, that's old school.
Oh boy, I before that it was Guild Wars.
And so this brings up a bigger problem. And as we went through the list, there was a lot of games that I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, that. Mm-hmm. That's the bigger problem with Microsoft Game Studios right now. They've announced so much shit, and we know nothing about them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's either stuff that we know nothing about, or stuff that I've said several times are going through development hell within their own studios. And it's like Xbox owns over 30 studios, but yet in 2022 we've had almost nothing from them. That's absolutely disgusting.
That's frustrating.
That should not be the case with a publisher this big, this huge, and we have like literally nothing coming out in 2022. The first half of 2022, that's ridiculous. And I get video game development is hard. I get that, but as a company that owns all these different things going on and happening at once, there's got to be better management going on.
Somebody got to be releasing something.
Right. And then they sit here and they just bought Activision. And I think that's what boosts them to 30 plus studios. But again, we're not going to see realistically, we're not going to see anything from the Activision purchase until years down the line, because up until this point, Activision has had everything solely focused on Call of Duty. So it's going to take years before we see like the individual teams work on new things and Call of Duty not be the only thing that they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but I guess they're going to milk that cow until it is fucking dry. And considering the fact that Vanguard isn't super popular, it's popular.
It's popular enough.
It's more popular than Cold War was. But it damn sure is not gonna get nowhere near as hype as it was with Modern Warfare 1.
Well, Modern Warfare 2 is set to release this year, and I ain't gonna lie, I kind of hope that junk is free on Game Pass because I don't want to buy that game.
I ain't gonna lie, you can
I
go
don't want.
I wish I didn't have to pay fucking $60 for it, $70, whatever it is now.
I just hope that it isn't 200 gigabytes so I can play other games.
I mean, by that point, you should, within the end of the year, you should at least get an extended storage unit or something.
Yeah, facts. But that's still a big ass chunk of space.
Extremely big chunk of space.
So
I mean, if Microsoft really wanted some money, all they got to do is just create a free to play like version of one of their existing IPs from one of their first party studios, and just see how much of a quick cash grab they can get from that. Like make Xbox All Stars a free to play fighting game with all your favorite Xbox characters from across many different series like Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix, and
or a car from Forza.
the car, a literal car from Forza. It doesn't matter what car it is. And you know, there's a battle pass, and like you can unlock there's stages in rotation every day, and you know, if they really wanted to,
Yeah, you got Doom Guy, Steve, Marcus Phoenix.
get an Arbiter. Put an Arbiter in there.
Well, I mean, Arbiter was in whatchamacallit?
Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct, and he was cool. That was cool in that game.
Wasn't there a guy from Gears of War in there?
Yeah, General Ram. He was in there, as well as Rash from Battletoads.
Oh yeah. Put him in the free to play fighting game too,
Bruh.
And join the trend and make it a Smash Bros. Like too.
God, we don't need any more Smash clones. We really
Please. To be honest, we're good with these three. We got damn Nicktoons. We got the
Multiverse.
The multiverse, which bruh, that shit is a love letter, bruh.
I haven't seen anything of it.
That game is polished.
Really?
That game is polished. Yes, that game is polished. It's not a Nicktoons. Nicktoons is not polished. That shit's really incomplete as fuck. But Multiverse is definitely like a finished game.
It is a game.
Isn't that wild that it's an accolade to be a finished game?
Right. Like, oh wow, it's a complete game.
It has everything in it that the game is supposed to have.
It's not broken.
Congratulations, you did your job.
The game is done. It's complete.
The game is a game.
Little to no bugs.
So,
and they crouch.
I want to go ahead and just wrap it up there. We have the actual showcase next week, so we'll see what Microsoft is bringing to the table. So, I think we're going to close it out here. It's going to be a little bit shorter, not the long hour and a half gauntlet like we tend to do at times.
Right.
So, hope y'all enjoyed this episode of the Sound Test Podcast. We will catch y'all on the next one.
Take it easy, everybody.
Peace.
Remember to pee after sex, get vaccinated, get
what,
boosted.
Clayton?
Like you said, shit the whole podcast. Shut up. Goodbye, everybody.
So out of context. What?
Stay safe.
All right, we're done.
Oh my God.
Later.